Welcome back again. My God, I don't even feel like I stopped, even though I was able to take a swim and a shower, which felt amazing. Let me turn this off. I gave only 3-minute countdown. Welcome back, you guys. Welcome to WCIA Network. Mary C., the first one in. Brenda. G.H. White, how are you guys? That was a good one, right? Muffin Top, my amazing mod. Hello, hello, Thundercat. That was an unexpected, Vanessa, hi. There was an unexpected, Sassafras, how are you? There was an unexpected burst of information. When that happens, I love it. And I love it for you guys as much as I do for the spirit world. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it's my live earlier today, which was only a few hours ago, maybe 2 hours ago. And because of that, I'm putting in a few different pages that I'm starting with just to give a little, to get the juices flowing. Welcome to WCIA Network. Everything I do and say here falls under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Everything we do here at WCIA Network family is for the sake of the missing children, to share their story and to bring them justice by doing so. So, yeah, I didn't think at all, I'll tell you the truth. Hi, Rumpel. My plan was not to have this guy on the front of my pages today. That's for sure. I don't think much of him, other than I know that flame throwing and sacrifice shows in his actions. Now, doesn't mean anything about him. He looks like a lot of the other guys that I have been looking at, right? He looks like Brian Kohlberger. He looks like the guy in the red hair. He looks like a lot of other guys that I talk about, because they really do have the same look. So it doesn't have anything to do with them directly. It has to do with me saying that the person behind the mask has a similar look. And don't forget about the dude in the back, with the red hair. So, what I do here, WCA Network, is I look at pictures and I tell you what I hear and what I see within the photo. That's called channeling. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to see or even agree with what I'm saying, which is great, which is okay, because that's what makes the world turn, right? What makes the world turn and makes it such a beautiful place to be sometimes is we all have the freedom of speech and we all have the right to give our opinion. Our opinion on these cases that we feel to be the truth, how we see it. Nothing has been proven. Nothing's been proven false. Nothing's been proven not false. But when I look at photos of his face, I see so much information. Now, again, I don't know him. It's not about him. So I'm not talking directly about Enon. I am talking about the elements within the photos. I'm talking about his face. It sounds so contradictory. Thank you, Cammie. Hi, Cammie. Yeah, thank you. It does. It sounds like I'm contradicting myself, but I'm not. I'm telling you that photos speak volumes to me, and that's what I've learned through Summer Moon Wells. And my eye goes right to the information that's going to help tell the children's truth, you know, and so be it. And that's what happened earlier today. This photo told me a lot of information, and it completely spoke and showed me elements that in the process that I'm in, and this is a process. It's a big process for these spirits to give their story in a way that is understandable, and the story has to make sense, and it has to have the elements behind it to even understand it to be possible, right? Elements speak volumes to the law enforcement. I can't just say, oh my God, I see a face. I see, I see a squirrel. I can't do that. If the same thing shows up over and over and over, you're talking about a pattern. And I have learned through this process in the last little over 2 years that it's important for me to stick to only my handful of elements. And if those elements are not there, then that case is not part of what I'm talking about. There's hundreds and thousands of millions of cases. I'm talking about sacrifices. I'm talking about exactly what my video was earlier today. I'm talking about the resurrection. I'm talking about what Lori Vallow and Arbania said, that they want to be the adult. This is a common theme that runs through the cases that I have been talking about. And it's becoming super clear to me, and it's becoming easier for me to express it through photos, because the photos, as you see, are just a little easier to understand than they were 2 years ago. For those that have been here since day one, which most of you guys, my WCA network here, family, has been here since the day that I was talking to nobody and showing photos that when I listen back to myself, I'm like, excuse the language, what the fuck are you talking about, that photo? And I had to just understand that I'm just allowing the words to come through. It's the only way that I could do it. And I learned through that process that being on YouTube with you guys here as my support system, it comes through. I don't feel any kind of pushback, I know when there's pushback. I call it out. And it's right in front of me, and I have to stay within the spirit mind of the child. Sorry, Don Wells and all of you who think that they're adults and they're engaged and they're married and they're busy. They're not. They're not. And you're not going to see them. They're not busy. They're not an adult that's taller than you. They're not. They're spirits that are waiting for justice. They're spirits that are stuck between here and there because they didn't have a choice of what you did to them. They're stuck. So I don't know who you're talking to, because they're not over there talking to you. They're not talking to Lori Vallow. Not the children. Children aren't talking to her. She's talking to herself. But the children want justice. And that's not by them telling and retelling their story to those that know their story. it's by telling the story so a channel like this can listen completely open-minded, without judgment, and with only love, and not even hate towards the people, just love towards the children, and let it come through. That's it. The children are smarter over there. They're not adults. It's not like they want to become adults to become smarter. They became smarter because they see the truth. They're like, this isn't what they're all saying it was. Sorry. So these little things that he has on his stick, which came to our surprise, I'm showing this before I go into, I think it's page 4 of my regular presentation, because this was shown to me a little over 2 hours ago. Why? Because it needed to be before I go into this presentation. Because this presentation I'm going into really kind of sums the whole thing up. It's going to bring a lot of information to clarity, like you're going to be able to look at Enan's little, what is that, like this little critter. Let me show you. All those critters on Enan's stick, call it what you may, are Summer Moon Wells' critters. So my presentation is about how all of these photos come together. All of those little critters that wind up on Summer, when I say that is what she looks like somewhere in the universe, Enan's information confirmed it for me. This face that you see there is that chipmunk face that you see here. You've got all those little characters in there. It may be hard for you guys to see them, but they're there. Thank you guys for all the amazing words. Like when people are probably saying, what does she mean by critters, right? Critters are little teeny figurines that show up and they're the same. This is a little, that's the same as this. You've got one over here. This here is what the heads wind up looking like. See, now I understand, because this here, that one there, is representative of how they portrayed Kylie Rodney. Now, Summer looked the same way, but there's certain photos that were taken to the side that I'm like, those have to be pulled to the side. That's going to be in a presentation one day. I learned that, it's funny, I learned that, I'm not going to mention one of my main teachers, right? She taught me that, like, if it doesn't make sense in the moment, put it to the side, because you have that for a reason. You have that thought for a reason. It just came a little too early. Put it to the side. Put that nugget to the side and come back to it. You're going to know when to come back to it. And I was like, How the fuck am I going to know when to come back to it? Like, you know, well, I know when. She was right. This here is how we saw Kylie Rodney at the end of hers. She's in that little buggy with the little head sticking out. Her head with red eyes and red mouth. This thing shows like a little face sticking out. This here is no different than what's going on in all these little critters. There's, you know, my goal here is to educate in a way that is educational and entertainment purposes only, right? If I could educate my listeners enough to know when they see an element that is repeated over and over and over, for them to stop and recognize it, that's all. I'm not here to name people, you know, or do this or do that. It doesn't matter. It's how to spread justice and help the children receive their justice. That's all. That's what we're doing here. And when I am given information to do that, that's what I'm doing here. That's my purpose. And when I see this, which I will be coming back to it, at the end of my presentation, you're going to see how this plays a major role in the Summer Moon Wells Missing Children story. All the way through the whole story. We're starting here. This was the start. Now you're going to see this was the start of my part two, a second part of 2 parts. I don't know however you want to say it. 2 of 2. And this was my first page. See how things work out? This was my first page, and you see how it blends right in. Blends right in to what I just went over with you guys. Those little critters have been showing up since the beginning. I showed you this in part 1. I said, the water. This is where I stopped. The water is so very important. The water is where most of this stuff happens. It travels. They use the same equipment. They use the same information. They use the same symbols. Nothing changes if in fact they are telling the same story. And when it comes to the Summer Moon Wells Missing Children, their stories don't change. All that changes is the victim. Each one of the victims have these smiley faces. They have the mesh. They have the hearts. They have the water. And they are sacrificed. All of this information bleeds into the fisherman's boat. Travels there. It travels through a system that is an underground tunnel system that is ran by a group kind of like Adventures with Purpose. You cannot get this shit, all of this stuff, to a boat and then taken out for trophies, and whatever they do with it They do all of that after the pain and agony of what they go through, which is horrific pain, days of it. This is what happens after, you guys. This is what happens after. I talked to you guys about the snowballs, which to me I believe are the heads. This is what the snowballs are. They travel, and however you want to see it, those balls are symbolic of each sacrifice. That is the same thing as what you're looking at in the net. It's just they tell the story in the way that their deep fake, wherever they're telling the sick-ass story, can be seen. But this is no different than these white snowballs that you see are Summer Moon Wells' head and Kylie Rodney's head. There is no difference. This here symbolizes, this is what their heads look like. This is really what their head is. They're just telling the story differently. But the story is being told so I could tell it to you guys. You see, the story that I see within these photos is being told so I can tell you the story of the Summer Moon Wells missing children. They want me to let you know that the heads that you see here are no different than this head here. I don't know what other friggin' psychics or anyone else that listens to visions and what they're saying, but if they don't hear the children talking about this, then they're not channeling Summer Moon Wells missing children. They could be channeling someone else. But this is what I'm told. Are you guys going to look at that, without someone saying, oh, that is Summer Moon Wells' head? No. I'm telling you, through the spirit of the children, that is what it is telling me. That they wind up in a net like that. They wind up with the fishies. They wind up as bait. They wind up like in the earth for resurrection, and just like Arbania said, to make the green grass greener. That's what I am hearing. This is like a plaster of, I don't know what they do, but this is part of the process. This is part of the process the kids know about. And it all comes together with the boat. And this is where I stopped yesterday. I stopped because the boat symbolizes a very large part of the movement of these bodies. And the people that are moving these bodies and working this behind the scene look like that. Now, like I said yesterday, the one to the left is from Kingsport. The Kingsport area, wherever that's in Kingsport. And I said that there's a railroad track over there. There's ways that are transporting, railroad track with like a tunnel over there. This is all one, and that's the fisherman to the right. So the story all pulls together. And why is this in the middle of this? Oh, those are masks. These are masks that they wear. What you see on their heads is no different than the mask. This is his mask. That is a mask that someone wears that looks like Enon. That is a mask that is put on his head. And when I say his, I don't mean him directly. Isn't that weird that was right there? Like this. See, this is what channeling is. Like, I don't know why that was stuck in there. This is the same as this here. Let me find it. The pages are messed up. Wait a minute. Page 17. That there is, wait. Okay, I got it. So that's a mask. It's saying that this here is this. Okay? So they represent the same thing. So what's in his picture back there, and somewhere that's going to come together at the end of this story, that there is this. Okay, so hang on to that. Hang on to that now we know that that's a mask. And what, oh, there it is. So what's above it? See what's above it? It's silver. I just showed that to you. Wait a minute. I just showed it in Kylie's photo. Let me grab it. It's not so easy to find the photo because it's 165 pages. But I literally just had it, so. That, let me lighten it. You guys see it? It's silver on the top. I had to break it up and change the coloring. This is a container. So it tells the story. So that's a container. And just imagine that silver thing is the head in the container. Let me mark it. I'm trying to set up where I could draw on the drawings, but I haven't done it yet. This here is the face. This is the cylinder. You guys put a 1 in chat if you see what you you just said it. You said cylinder right before I said it. Okay, correct. So you see it. Just put a 1. This is the cylinder. That's the face. So this is really going to come together. This is exactly what they show in the scuba divers. That is a mask that's put on the person. This is the cylinder. Let me show you something. I'm gonna go forward and show you something. It's gonna spoil it, but I have to show it to you. So if you look at the scuba diver, wait, where's my scuba diver? This is exactly what, I'm not going to show it to you because it's like my last photo. This pulls it together, you guys. So I will be bringing this back. This is like what I got from the boat, Adventures with Purpose. Like that's like the last photo. It's got the cylinder on top of the head. You guys, that's the whole setup. Yeah, this is the setup. This is on their head. That's what's on their head. It's right here behind him. That is right behind him. So take his face out of it because it's not about him. You guys, it's never about the person. It's about the story that's being told. And that's the redhead guy. Guys, that's the red hair guy. So what I'm saying is, there's a red-headed guy somewhere in this story. What you guys are looking at is the fucking story. And that's the red-headed dude. This matches, now I get it. This matches my last two. Holy shit. I have to show it to you. I'm sorry, I have to show it to you. Okay, I'm going to show you something that's like my last. It's like your guys, hold your breath. Hold your breath, because this is like one of my last. I told you I'm pulling it all together. This is one of my very last slides. Okay, so this is what I'm about to show you. This is very important. This is really intense for me right now. This is Adventures with Purpose. This photo. I've kept these photos from the back of their truck. This is one of my, holy shit, this is one of my last photos for today. You see the head with the mask and the silver thing on top? Let me turn it vertical. Nope. I meant horizontal. What we're looking at, here, this here, is like my last. And I said I'm pulling it together. This is pulling it together. This is Adventures with Purpose's boat that I'm showing you. This, I'm telling you, is that. It's the same fucking story. Only difference is his information shows the redheaded guy. See? See that? This is that hat. And I have many pictures of it, you guys. I have so much information of this in the water in my presentation. I show all this in the presentation. I cannot. I have to stop saying I can't believe it. But that is that. See the V on the see the V on there and the chain? It's the same thing. It's the same thing. So remember this, because wow. And look at how it's in my presentation. It's on a white, like I did these in the beginning. I don't know why this is on page 19, because I did these in the beginning. See, watch. These are all the way in the beginning. Let me show you. I'm like, oh, we're going to go over what we did earlier for those who didn't see it. Look, I did this all in the beginning. I did this all in the beginning. So I didn't have to bring it in. Now all of a sudden, it's brought in. That's how Spirit works. Spirit does this shit. Let me tell you, when I don't remember doing something, I'm not saying I didn't do it. I did it, but I just don't remember doing it. Look, it's placed. Look at how it did it for me. It shows this, and I'm looking at it, and then it goes to this. I'm like, wait, I don't understand why this is in here. I'm like, wait, it's a mask. And then it opens up like that for a blank space for me to paste. For me to do this. For me to paste it. This person has some sort of red hair. This is the same. This is the same. Then it brings me back to the boat to show you the transportation. And I showed you this. I kept this in here because Candace Wells Bly perfectly tells a story of these children across the boat, moving in these containers. I see them moving in containers in the boat. Their heads are above water. I'm telling you a story. Their heads are above water. They're in containers. And that is what the containers look like. These are the containers. And I believe to the right, I believe that's Kylie Rodney's. That's Kylie Rodney's. To the right is, I grabbed that from the night that this group that I follow had a party the same night in California. That is what was going on. And these are what the containers look like. These are spiritual containers. Adventures with Purpose shows them all the time for me to see right there on their screens. Adventures with Purpose screens that are called, they're hot, whatever, heated screens. To me, they're nothing more than what you see. This is what I get on their screens. I get this stuff. And it tells me a story. You could see, let me show you the little smiley faces and all that stuff. These are heads and critters. Right here, it's the same smiley face here. This is well, look at that. There's your K for Kylie. And that's the house she lives in. So this is my story. My story is, this is the house they live in. This is Kylie Rodney's house. I follow Kylie Rodney's. These are either a K or an R. And this happens to be right here with her head. That's her snowball. I told you she was with 2 other people, so I'm channeling. This is her box. This is her house. This is Kylie Rodney's home in which she went spiritually. The information that I got for this presentation is from Kylie Rodney's retrieval of her fake car. So I see that these cars are used as the vehicle to place their trophies in the water for retrieval. What you see here is the maroon box. Each one has one that looks just like this. Here's the family members. Here's their home. One side is longer than the other. And this is Kylie Rodney's marking. And that's her snowball. These are rooms. There you go. So what happens for those who are new here, when I speak the truth over a photo, it starts to show itself. And more information shows through as Spirit is ready to show it. In the beginning, I'm like, what the hell's happening to the photo? Does anyone else see it? But you're going to see the faces are going to come through because we're speaking the truth. This is Kylie's box. Here comes your maroon box number 5. These are the slants I talk about. These are the separate windows. This is Kylie. That's her snowball. And I am here to give justice not just to Kylie, to all the Kylie Rodneys that we don't know of. And to whoever she was sacrificed with, she wasn't alone. And this confirms it. Kylie Rodney The Kylie that we know of wasn't alone. Spirit speaks. It's just what it does. See the picture? This stuff, holy shit. What this, that stuff's gonna match this equipment. Somewhere this equipment is gonna come into play really fast. Really fast. Let me. This is the story, you guys. And this, to me, when I look at Adventures with Purpose, they're telling me the part of the story that the children want to be told. Now, I'm not calling out the company as they're doing this. I'm not. Their company is giving me the vehicle to tell the story in which the children were a part of. These are images that are part of the sacrifice. And the fishermen, I see the story in their glasses. Does the law enforcement care about images in someone's glasses? No. I don't blame them. They can't go do shit but I know that the story is there, so I'm here to tell the story. Those are the boats that they travel in. It's right in his glasses. Those are the boats. They get lifted up and down. And they're not alone. They're with a little group. The story that you see in his glasses is the story of the Summer Moon Wild's missing children. Let me break this up. Let me brighten this up. You know, and you cannot focus on like the person in here, because that's so not important to what I do here, because that does nothing for the children. They want me to tell you the journey that they take is a real journey that you see in his glasses. That's the real journey. It's the journey of the Summer Moon Wild's missing children. And this is what is most important to them, you guys, is that we see the story that they went through, because the people that are that know the story are not going to share it this way. See the V? It's everything is in here. They travel together like they are a family. The boat, I put this in here before, but I have to show the Skittles because the word Skittles stands out. I don't know why it shows it like this. I feel as if the story that I have of the child here on the boat, I feel as if is summer. I cut the faces out because I don't think it's appropriate, but I need to show this because those are the snowball / faces and heads. I am not showing faces of the children, and I'm not showing anything that's inappropriate. I'm showing you information so the children get justice. Those are no different than what you see here. This is what they go through, this sacrifice. It's in the water. They are going in the water. Those are called whatever they are. Spiritual heads, spiritual snowballs, but this is all the same. It's the same thing that Maddie from the Idaho 4 showed in her photo that is still there on her Facebook. All she was doing is showing you that she was sacrificed the same way. That's it. And no one gave a shit. No one. No one cared. It was left. It was left right in her Facebook story. 6 photos were left for others to see. Her photo has the, let me get the white thing. I'll show you. Her photo shows all the elements that I showed you this afternoon, that Summer Moon Wells was holding her most significant first element that I was introduced to. All of those elements that I'm talking about here are in Maddie from the Idaho 4's photos. You could go to her Facebook and it's there. There's the white thing with the heart. That's the head. And there's the little smiley face. Right there. Let me get the smiley face. There's always a smiley face. That's it. That is significant to what the kids went through. That is the smiley face that I showed you is inside the cement mix masters. It's a smiley face that's on Kylie's face. It's a smiley face that is in the middle of the net. It's a smiley face that I just showed you on Adventures with Purpose. It's a smiley face that's on Enan's. It's everywhere. But it's surrounded just like that, like it has a bonnet on its head. Just like that. No difference, you guys. None. This is an easy one. This here is basically the head. This here is your snowball. Right there. And this is Maddie from the Idaho 4. It's the same thing that you see there to the left. That's the snowball. It goes in a circle. They do something, it goes in a circle, around in a circle. And that's from the family that I follow. It's all from the same people. This child is going through the same sacrifice, and it's showing where they go, what happens, the equipment. It's right there. All the information goes right back. The fishermen get off the boat. There's some people who eat the trophies. They eat them. They carve these bones. Some eat the stuff. Some carve them. They carve them into what I call the critters, or they eat them. That he's eating. This is Summer Moon Wells' missing children. Her story was told by Don Wells on July 20th. I had no idea how evil this world was until I earnestly tried to learn and try my best to follow in Christ's steps. He warned us what to expect: evil. He took my most precious love, and she loves me with all of her heart. That's why it hurts so bad. I couldn't save the one who loves me the most. I will probably not see her again in this ugly, nasty world. But I claim the promise: if we confess our sins, he is faithful and just and will forgive our sins and purify us. I also claim the promise in John 8:31 that if we keep his commands, we are really his disciples. I will do his work proudly, no matter what Satan says. You can take my life too, like you took Jesus's, and all the pastors and Christians. But in the end, I will be with God, Jesus, and all Christians, church family, and my beautiful daughter. It says stiples, by the way. I screwed that word up. But that was written by Don Wells. And he told it in the beginning exactly what the story was. And then his daughter went through all of the pain, sacrifice that was needed in order for, according to the words, to be there in the next world. And he said the same thing as Lori Vallow. He will stay busy, basically doing the good. I will do his work proudly, no matter what Satan says. That's what Lori Vallow is saying. This is what they go through in order for people that say stuff like that believe they're going to go to the resurrection. I'm not here to judge anybody. I'm not here to say what's right or wrong. There are people that have been raised a certain way and only know from a certain way and don't look at it any other way. I'm not here to judge them. I'm here to tell you that the children have imploded and they don't agree. There's no room for any more children to go over where you have placed them because it's all messed up. They see that it's not how they're supposed to be. They're standing strong. That's where the words come. Standing strong. They stand strong. You are the weaker human. They are the stronger human. They have come together and they have united. And they're going to stomp this out. They are not weak as a child. They have not become the adult as you believe they are. They are the children of our world that are strong and united. They know better. They know better. They've come together to strengthen the world here. And how they're going to do that is by telling their story. They are telling their story so they get justice, so this doesn't continue. If it keeps continuing, there's nowhere for the children to go on the other side. You guys have completely imploded. They are not the adults. They're the strong children of our world. The adults are the weak ones. The adults are the ones that have told them that they are the word. They are the ones they should listen. No. They know better. They are standing in their truth. They're standing strong, and you cannot break them. You cannot break them. And they are the children of our world. And they stand strong. They're not weak. They know better to race the child out of them. They know that that is used as a vehicle to abuse, to sell them, traffic them, sexually abuse them. Whatever you're doing to them, they know better. This child knows better. These are the photos. These are the photos from the very, very first grouping of videos. These photos tell the truth. These are the photos that the adults that they think are so fucking smart really don't want anyone to look at anymore. So everyone dropped their channels. Really? I have 650 goddamn videos that have all this shit. This is Summer Moon Wells' Missing Children with the V that is all over everyone else's necks. Here it is. There's your V. Right there. Right there. That is the story of the children. The story of the children. This is the true story. It's not what you guys think you're going to create on YouTube and put your own fucking words to it. There's the V. This is what happened. This is the story. Whoever's behind that screen right there, right here, knows the real story. This person right here is the guilty. I don't know who that is. We don't know who that is, but I'm telling you, boom. Right here. And this is what I say. Right here. I say fucker. I think that is right here. Boom. Whoever is standing behind this screen knows the story. So if the law enforcement wants to get behind this and bust this shit open, that is your predator. Right there. He is right there. What you see here in the water is nothing more than what they put in the water as far as what I call the snowball. That's what I see connected to the face. So am I saying that adventures with purpose? No. I'm saying that this is what it looks like. These are the scuba divers that go in and do this. This is what I showed you was at the water hole with Summer Moon and her swimming with all the men. They were all swimming with somebody. They weren't swimming alone. They weren't swimming alone. This is what I mean about scuba. This was what I had on my first channel. This was one of the very first things I said. They've got scuba divers and they are using scuba divers, and that is bloody bodies that they're picking up. Oh yeah. This goes back. Look at that comes from Candace. This is Candace's August 31st. Right? August 31st, 2021. That's when I saved it. Here is when I said, oh yeah, they're scuba divers. And that is what they were showing when they were in the water hole. The water hole was nothing more than scuba divers. I don't know what they were doing in there, but the water hole showed multiple of people swimming together. Multiple. Here. You guys probably, the ones that are new here, probably has never even seen ones like this. These were Candace's. Way in the beginning. Look at that. It's not summer. There are people here, children here of all ages. And they're with adults. This was accepted. They have masks on their heads. What they have on their heads is what I'm showing you the scuba divers have on their heads. So am I saying it's their scuba divers? No, I'm telling you that they had this shit on their heads. And the water hole told the story in the beginning. The water hole showed where Summer went. She went in that hole. Right there. And want to know what? They marked it with the flower. But all of this shit that they showed in the beginning, which is no longer available, showed the door on the way in and no way out. Oh, they went to pick flowers. This flower, if the law enforcement could do one thing to find Summer, they need to go back to the original videos from day one. And if you don't have them, I have them. Listen carefully. Look at the videos. This pink flower most likely tells you where the door is. Because these are doorways that they're showing. It goes all the way down. These are tunnels that go all the way down. Look. They're in there. This is what the water hole video is about. These are doorways. All of these photos, you guys, go back to the original day that this was posted. This shit was grabbed, and I venture to say there's no other creator that I know has these. Because whoever had these doesn't have them up anymore. Because they stopped their channel. So there is something to be said about going backwards. You know, and I know that I've got more listeners than I did before. So this shit, it tells the story. Look at this. Those are holes in the ground. This is Summer on her swing. It says right there, Candace, May 31st. Does that look like the Summer that you all saw on the swing? No. The answer is no. Does this look like Summer? Wait, look at this one. If anyone thinks that this is Summer and they don't see Michael Vaughn in this photo, then you're not paying attention. These have always been different children, and that has always been Michael Vaughn. It's Michael Vaughn. What about that? It's not Michael Vaughn. It's not Summer. It's Monkey. No one gives a shit. Nobody. Yeah, and this is Summer swimming in the swimming hole with a black mask over her head. Come on. And that's what they're showing here. And here. And here. This is what I see. And there's your child with the adult exactly the way I showed it at the swimming hole. This is exactly what they showed. Nothing more, nothing less. I am not quite sure why this wouldn't be taken seriously. These children all had the masks on their heads. All of them. That is another photo of Summer swinging on her swing. Give me a fucking break. Do you all see that little person? Do you all see that little girl? That's a boy. This is a little girl. Right there. Right there. You're not hallucinating. You are not seeing things. You are seeing the story of the Summer Moon Wells missing children. This is a child. This is all the shit that carries another head. It's all the stuff that comes with it. This is the story, the Summer Moon Wells missing children. That is a child being carried on the back, just like the photos I have at the waterhole. It's all the same. It's really crazy. How this could be telling the same story as Summer Moon Wells' photos and videos at the waterhole. I have the original. It's not talked about. This is what they show as Summer at the waterhole. This is Summer. She has the same thing on her head. Now here's another original. Everyone who's seen me before, you all know that this is an original because I used to mark my videos. I don't mark them anymore because this photo is covered in words instead of having it in plain sight. Look at this picture, you guys. This was the original photo of Summer in the car. Look in the box. Let me grab it. This here, this area, these were original. When I said, remember I was like, oh my God, how does no one see the lady in the black hair? The lady in the black hair is there. But most important, where'd it go? Look at what's in that box. See all that stuff? Look at that. That's that. And I was like, look at how messed up this is. I mean, those aren't milk jugs. There's a lady in the black hair. There's the maroon box. This is all screwed up. And you don't see it this way anymore. You gotta question it. This here I kept when they did a video, and this video was taken down super quick, really quickly. When Don, you guys, whoever has been here from the beginning, you're going to remember, when Don panned and did like this really weird video of his property, right? And I'm like, he has a gateway. That's the gateway. Like, that's the gateway to hell. That's the one way in and no way out. That's right on his property. And I remember I was screaming. I'm like, you guys have to get over to that property, blah, blah, blah. This is what I showed. You can't find this video anymore either. This is the one of, now let me tell you something. Some of the videos are up, but they're not the same. They're not the same. This is on the Wells property. Right by the dog trail. That's right by the dog trail. Think about that. Those are covering holes in the ground. I'm telling you they are. And this is what was, I'm like, I remember, you could go to the videos. I mean, these come from all my 650 plus videos. Yeah, it was a long time ago. It was, I mean, yeah. No, it wasn't where the bus was. This was more, okay, you know where this was? Where he panned over and he showed that red truck going across the road, where he pans over to the road, kind of showing where the kids go down and play or something like that. He was panning to the road, and I'm like, well, there goes the red truck. That video went down fast. And now we know that this is Fred Hill's property, and now we know that little face, I'm going to show you in a minute, this face comes up again. What's this? Oh, this was the fire. It's hard to look at. Okay, so I showed you this earlier, that these are from Fred Hill, but it doesn't really go in the story I'm telling you right now. Oh, there's the other. This is one of the very first times that I saw that chipmunk face. This is Appalachian Fairground, where I always show it where they have the car underneath, like some hay thing, like Appalachian Fairground. I give a whole story on it, but that's all of a sudden that chipmunk face was up there, and that's the chipmunk face that I'm showing you now in Enan's photo. Same chipmunk face that I always bring up, and I think that's Enan. And again, I went over this earlier. I wasn't supposed to, but I did, to show you that the video here is Candace doing fireworks with her kids before Summer went missing. It doesn't show anything more than a part of the sacrifice. They're underground. And they're doing the sacrifice, and this person has the same kind of a hood on. And if it is Benny that's supposed to be playing Benny was supposed to not be introduced until later, after Summer went missing. This is before she went missing. And this is what's going on under the ground of the Wells house. This is underground. And I kept saying, you gotta go dig. You gotta go dig. So this is information that many of you guys either don't remember or never saw. Yeah. This video is old. And it's showing a sacrifice with the fire. And this is under the Wells house. And now that it's 2 years later, it shows a tremendous amount of information. Because it shows this. It shows the person doing it underground, under the house. And he's got the hood on. Like now this really falls together. And this is what I was trying to show you guys, that these pieces that I grabbed month 1 are the most important pieces to the pie. The most important pieces to the puzzle. This is part of the sacrifice. And it was shown before supposedly Summer went missing. This was called Candace's video of them doing fireworks. It's not. This is part of what goes on, and this is showing that it was under their house because it was with this video. Now, when they showed their construction, this is another thing I was explaining. I'm like, it's all crooked. It made no sense. But the law enforcement could figure this out if they wanted to. It's not rocket science. And they show it. I mean, they show it. They show that this shit is under their house. And this person has a hood on, doing sacrifices in the video prior to Summer being taken. Allegedly. Allegedly. This here told the same information as what's on the Wells property, even though this came from the fishing boat. These are being transferred like this. This is what you call the trophies. These are the trophies that represent the children. What you see to the right is Summer Moon Wells' box that Candace has. That is her box that Candace calls her box. Now, when you look at her box, we can now say that the critters that Candace has of Summer's boxes are the same critters on here. That's what I'm talking about. These are the same that's on here. They have the same critters. So, how are you to explain that? How is that supposed to be explained? That box is what Candace calls Summer Moon Wells' trophy box. Summer Moon Wells' box. Well, this is all the same. What you see here is what Adventures with Purpose is showing to the left. What Adventures with Purpose pulls out of the water is what you see on the left-hand side. Now, again, I'm telling you that this shit is pulled out of the water just like what I'm showing you on the left-hand side, just like Adventures with Purpose. That is their video. This comes from their video. This is exactly what the sacrifices look like coming out of the water. That is someone's box. It shifts, it changes and shifts to tell the story. These are trophies. These are trophies. This is what the children know of. They know this. They know that what they see when they see other children looking like that to the left, they know that happened to them. They showed it day one on the swing. The swing was just showing the sacrifice. These are the trophies that get placed in the earth for the resurrection, and it's completely placed systematically. This is not working. The children, this is not working. It doesn't work where they are. That's all I know. This just doesn't work. This isn't working anymore. The picture you see to the right is from years and years and years ago from that Robert Bond. The picture you see to the left is from a video just recently from Adventures with Purpose. I'm sorry, from The Fisherman. They're the same. What I'm telling you is what the children say. This is the story. This is what they believe they're doing to the children to make them adults, to make them strong, and the children are saying, sorry, we are strong. We're stronger than you ever could imagine us to be. And this is what they're doing. This is the diagram of what is happening to our children. These are the drawings drawn out many moons ago with all the critters, all the faces, all the ridiculous little things that people think they're not going to notice. We notice. This is all the same. I have pulled it together in a way that it is the story of the Summer Moon Wells Missing Children. It's what they did with the Idaho 4 above to the right side. That is right from the party. That comes straight from their frat party. And why the hell would they show this? This is the Underground Railroad. And those are the small little boxes that they place in the earth for their purpose of which they believe to be true. Those are the little boxes that are being placed. Whenever you see their phones, all they're doing is telling the story to each other. It's all put together in some system. Fred Hill's location really told a lot of information. I shouldn't say his location. His video showed how these boxes move, showed where they go, showed how they are put by the mud, put by the water, put in the leaves. Just like that. It's not working anymore. This story doesn't fit anymore. They're very strong. They're standing together. Lori Vallow's daughter, I've shown this before, I'm showing it again. Went through the same situation. I am putting this out there for the sake of the missing children. These faces fall under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. The picture to the right comes from the new videos I found of the cave. And the picture to the left comes from the Idaho 4 parties. These faces look familiar, not saying it's them, but they're, as far as someone behind this resembles something like this. Because it stopped me. This stopped me in my tracks. This is the story of all of the sacrifices and how they get maneuvered and moved from place to place. These are real versions of what I believe to be the truth, and this is what it looks like. It's disgusting. It's something that you can't even make in a horror story. And this is Adventures with Purpose. This encompasses the chair that I'm always looking for. This encompasses the chair that Michael Bond was on, that Summer Moon Wells. This is part of the story. It tells the story. This is part of the sacrifice. It's in the water and out of the water. All the pieces are right in front of you. What we're looking at are the trophies of the victims. We're looking at the victim with their trophies. Now, obviously everything I say is for entertainment purposes. Falls under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. You're looking at it. This here, let me show you. Right here is your story. This here is your victim, connected to the machinery with its pieces, and this is being allowed. Really look. I don't make this shit up. This is everything. This is what I showed you Kylie Rodney was sitting in. This here is what goes on the boat. This is what goes out of the boat. I just showed you this in the boat. I showed this. I showed this 1 moment ago. This here is the same thing that I said Kylie Rodney was sitting in the boat. This is the same thing as this. This gets filled and emptied. Filled and emptied. That is the story of the summer moon whilst missing children. That's what's going on here. What you're looking at is what's going on here. They have placed smoke and mirrors for you guys. But I get the pleasure of having the story told over the photos. So your smoke and mirrors get blasted. All you are looking at, this is Kylie Rodney. See this? It's Kylie Rodney. There's no difference. That's the chair that they sit in. That's the chair that they sit in. That's the chair that the Idaho 4 sat in. This is what's on the boat. It gets moved on the water. Boom, 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 and hello. Now we're getting taken out of the water to keep our shit. And there are locations like this that you can find all this. This is what it looks like. It's under the water by a bridge. And they show it. Adventures with Purpose shows it. This is what it looks like taking it out of the water. Watch. These are remnants. These are trophies that get taken out of the water. Okay? These are trophies that I shouldn't say take out, they take out or put in. There is a transfer of power. I guess that's what I'm saying. Transfer of power? Transfer of power. The placement of power. Okay, so this is what it is. There's a placement of power. They're placing the power of this. There's a placement. These are what it looks like. This is what's in that bag, you guys. It looks like a fucking pig head, right? Those are the heads. Those are the trophies. They look disgusting. It's like a chain of custody, correct. That's the V. Those are the faces. It's like a chain of commands. That's what I'm getting. This is Summer Moon Wild's Missing Children story, you guys. This is what it is. They've really done a number on covering this shit up. This is what it looks like. There's your box. There's your snowball. There's your maroon box with the maroon pieces. That, oh, I just got confirmation. Wow. That's it. That's the box. You guys, I just just hit. Yeah, this is the box. That's the person. This is the box. The fuck. Yeah. That just hit like a ton of bricks. This just hit like a ton of bricks. This is the box I've been talking about, you guys. I actually feel like throwing up. It's actually making me sick. Here. This is the box. These are the boxes of their trophies. This is a very powerful box. Wow. And this is a real life photo. I don't know who this is, but this is showing sacrifice. It might as well be Michael Vaughn's chair. I mean, you could see right there, you could see the mesh and everything on there. It's right there. The head isn't, I mean, look at these photos are not even correct. See? All things, they're all in there. It's the blue chair. See the number 5 on the back? It's this is I showed you one of summer in it. See the fake head? That's not the diver's head. I have many, many, many photos of these chairs. And here's your box pulled out of the water. There are your trophies that they went down for. That is this box. And there's your maroon box. And those edges and everything is what you see in the fake car. This is the fake car that gets placed in there. And these are all the maroon edges that I'm always talking about. This is the Summer Moon Wells Missing Children story. This encompasses all of the pieces. These are the heads in which accompany them. Each one of these heads are different in this one particular video from Adventures with Purpose. They're all different. The eyes, nothing stays the same. The photos don't stay the same. And I must show that the person in the back, I'm telling you that Lori Vallow's kids are part of this. The person that's all the way in the back there with Lori Vallow's daughter I will always continuously show, because this is a dead giveaway, because this person shows up in all the videos. On its glasses, there's the V. There's just a lot of information. And this is what happens with the sacrifices, you guys. And this is a part of the story that no one's telling. This is part of the story that isn't being revealed. It's just not being revealed. This is the part of the story that the children need told. Here's a great example. I'm going to use this as an example. Back 2 years, I was saying the cars don't make any sense. I know they're using like little teeny toys to make these things look big or small. This is a great example. Not to say that they're doing this. This comes from Adventures of Purpose. This could easily be, this is an example, this easily could be Kylie Rodney's car underwater. And I'm always like, notice how when you see these white cars, especially Idaho 4 and Kylie Rodney's, oh my God, and all over Summer Moon Wells, you always look at the tires, and the tires are always like teeny, teeny, teeny. They just don't get the tires right. These are match cars. And in Summer Moon Wells' video, she shows all, I'm like, as soon as she showed all these match cars to the interview room, I'm like, they use those all the time. Like, I actually saw them being used, like the tractors and all that shit. But I think that these are being used to throw everybody off. I think that this is part of the filming. I think that this could easily be Kylie Rodney's car. I just don't believe that this is being used for anything other than that. I think it's all set up and it's all fake. I think that the production of it is all fake, and I could probably match the wheels up to Idaho 4 to one of these. This is supposed to be Brian Kohlberger's car. How do we know that that's not a Matchbox? Seriously. Because here they show Brian Kohlberger's car, but if you look at it, look at the wheels on both of these. They're different. They're different. They're not the same car. There. How do we know this isn't the same? That's the Matchbox in the bottom right-hand corner, and that's Brian Kohlberger's car. First of all, that's not a car. With those teeny, teeny, teeny little wheels, it's not a car. How is it that that car was passed as Brian Kohlberger's car? They're all Matchboxes. They're all little teeny cars. They're toys. That's what I say. These are toys. That toy is as big as that phone that it shows. That's not my phone up in the left-hand corner. That's in Brian Kohlberger's video. Now, I couldn't find it, but this is part of the video. And I know that those letters, I saw those letters either at the Appalachian Fairground underneath by the chicken coop, where the kids were by the John Deere thing. But I'm going to find it. Those letters and that matches something that I have. They just stuck it in there. And this is a fake diver. So I don't really know what's going on. This is not a real diver. That's a fake diver. And a lot of the photos are fake. But this is where it gets the most interesting. is the rig. This is why I showed you earlier. This part of the rig this could be an intro to a movie. This scene here could be my movie intro. Because it sets the scene. I see this as it sets the scene. I can't see it any other way. This is what I showed you earlier. That's a mask on the face. You blow it up, that's what happens. But that's a mask on the face. That is either being placed in the water or it was taken out of the water. This is in the truck. These are elements I've shown before, but now it is part of the concrete story. It's in the rig. That, my friends, is what these heads look like. They all look the same. No, that's on top of the person's head. These are all the same, and it's in the back of the truck. Look all the way to the right. This is what's to the right. This, all the way to the right, is part of a major part of the equipment that I have, marked as the equipment. Everything that I see in this boat, in this, whatever you want to call it, are elements to the Summer Moon Wells Missing Children. Everything. This scene within this video, to me, tells me the story. It tells me the story. The most important frame in their whole entire video is this. The frame that you see here, to me, is the most important frame in my 2+ years of making these videos. This to me is the room, that is the machine, and if I were to tell the law enforcement to do one thing, it would be to find that room, which this frame is stuck right in here. I don't know where he's coming out of, because where he's coming out of on the left-hand side is no longer this location. it's coming out of somewhere to the right. This is all nonsense video. The most important thing that pulls this whole thing together are these last 4 frames. That's the room. And this is how it shows. The room shows over the sand and over the water. I believe this is the room that is underground. These are underground. They get accessed when you are on the water. That's how you get access. You need the key. See, like a key like this. This video, if I were to create a movie and close my documentary, this will be the end of my documentary. It will be, you find this fucking room and you will bring justice to the children. You find that room, you go get the keys, and you bring justice to the children. That's what it is. Everything matches. So my message, I'm going to leave tonight, and I've always said that it's on something sandy. It's in the water. You go find this room. Go get the key and unlock the justice. Unlock it and let it just frickin' sing. On that note, I thank you all for being here. Thank you all for your amazing, just seriously supportive, loving words. And may justice come soon. The next video you're going to see is going to be the last 3 presentations put together in my other part that is going to be connected to my documentary. I love you all. Thank you, Muffin Top, for being that amazing mod, and all of my wonderful WCAA Network family. I just cannot be doing this without you. Everyone in chat was the best. I felt it. It was great. You all gave me all the energy that I needed, and everyone that was in my chat room today is part of my WCIA Network family. I see you all. I'm looking at all of you. All of you guys here. There's so many. Thank you guys so much. It's overwhelming. Seriously. Have a wonderful night. Stay safe. Have a great Friday night. Talk to you guys soon. Good night, folks.